Hello, it's good to have you on this program, Women's World. Today we're looking at something that is very, very important. We're looking at joint accounts. We're looking at financial management and a lot about finance, especially in this present day economy. Joint accounts can be a convenient way for couples to track their spending, manage household bills, but opening one is not just the issue now, is how to manage it. And we can't bring romance into our finance, I guess so. Today I'm looking at having a wonderful guest in the studio today that will be telling us more that we need to know about joint accounts, finance management, and a lot. I'm having maybe Awoyemi. You're welcome to this program.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay. So now we're looking at joint account, but before joint accounts, let's look at finance management, especially in this present economy that we're having. That even 50,000, when you take 50,000 in the market, when you get back from the market, you won't see what you have bought. So how do we manage things these days? Because I think a lot of people are really going through hard times. You know, a lot of headaches. You know, sometimes you just think you don't even know the way to go.
Nigeria, as we all know, presently is a very tough place for us to live, but we don't have another place to go to, so we just have to manage what we have. If you've been the type that spends frivolently before, now is the time for you to cut your coat. Whatever it is we have, we should still be able to manage. Before, I can go to the market with about 15,000 naira, buy some reasonable things and keep at least for 2 weeks, can keep us running. But the same 15,000 naira now can really take us 1 week. Now I have the same 15,000 naira to be used for another, let me say, 3-4 weeks. How do I manage it?
Yeah.
I, as a woman, will consider the benefit of things I'm going to buy: fish, egg, crayfish, all of that. Then carbohydrate, what am I getting?
I think we try like
Vitamins,
rice
what
and
am
all
I
that.
getting? If I am able to put that into consideration, I buy a little of this everywhere. Then I go to my market very early in the morning. Maybe there's one here very close to us, Ojaoko. I go there very early in the morning. Then to a very long extent, I'll be managing my income.
Well,
Yes.
you're talking as if it's that easy with we women that like say our hair to be made. We want to be put on like this kind of glasses you're putting on. We want to look good, you know. How do we do that with our
In the
economy?
middle of all of this, you have to put everything together, manage. I can't say because I have to eat, I have to look horrible. No, I have to look good and at the same time hit well. What I'm trying to say is, if I used to buy banla olori before, now if it is balamu I'm going to get, then I should go ahead and get it. You know, it's not going to be convenient for me to come to the market. Ordinarily, it's not convenient for me to come to the market very early in the morning. But because I need to manage money now, I'll have to wake up very early, come to the market, get things a little cheaper than I will get from the regular market. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
So if I buy fish, if I buy crayfish, if I buy egg, if my children are eating one egg before, sometimes you might have to divide one egg to 2 people. Now this is the situation. That way, our children will eat healthily and at the same time will also be fine. Because if you're not careful, if you say your children should go to buy food every time, you're going to be spending more and you're going to be creating a pathway
Are you
to
sure
be
I'm going to be
sitting
spending more? If
You will.
actually I have 200 naira
You
now
will
for
end up-
breakfast, won't they feed well with that 200 naira? Then for me to start cooking, I'll buy a cup of rice, buy palm oil or whatever I want to use before I calculate everything, and the gas again.
You know,
Won't
the,
it be on the high side?
the problem we most of the time have is we want to spend what we already have now, but it's always good to save up and spend at once. I want to buy at least in a week my family should be able to eat 2 congos of rice. This I know. And I go to buy my rice in 3 cups. I go and buy 3 cups. Go and buy 3 cups. At the end of the day, at the end of the 2 weeks or 1 week,
spend
that
more.
I'll be spending, I will have bought almost 5 congos with the bit I am buying. But if I go to the market, buy my 2 congos all are stretch, I know another 1 week I am fine. But when you buy in bit, there's no way about it. And that's why the rich will always remain rich, because they spend less when they buy stuff because they buy more. And the poor is 200 naira I have today, let me go and buy. It's 100 I have today, let me go.
How healthy is it for children to be eating outside?
It's not healthy. It's not in any way healthy. It's not. I don't see it as healthy. But sometimes times call for it but it should not be an everyday thing.
Okay.
It should not be an everyday. We are not teaching the children, right? They learn to eat out, and it's more convenient to eat out. For boys and girls, it's more convenient.
Even for the mother, you don't stress yourself in cooking. You wake up very early to start cooking.
You spend more when you do that. You are likely to visit the hospital more. You are likely to stand by your children will go late. You stand by the you are there wasting some time you are meant to have actually do at home. At the end of I don't see it as cheaper.
Okay. So now let's
whatever
go to
you have, manage it.
Whatever you have, manage it. Let's now go to the joint account thing. What's your take about joint account? Let's even look at what joint account is.
Joint account, I don't know. It depends on our definition. Are we going to the bank to open an account?
Okay.
Are we staying in our home to create a pocket or a drawer that the man and the woman decide to keep something in for a period of time? Whatever it is we have decided, it means we are running a joint account. Whatever it is resources we both have, we put together to manage our expenses. Joint account, if I want to carry this thing, I carry it alone. I'm going to exert more energy. But the moment somebody comes to help me,
easy.
I might not even know I'm carrying it because you might talk carrying it. The person does not spend as much energy as I've spent earlier. It's easier when we are two. That's why God designed it like that. But in this day and age, in this time we have been lucky to find ourselves. Joint account is always something I can't describe.
Why do you say so? Do you think we don't trust our partners any longer?
From experience that I've shared, because I don't do a joint account, and I don't think I'm ever going to do it.
From experience, from what we've seen.
From what I've seen, from what I've heard, it has always been a huge tussle in the middle of the marriage.
Okay.
It has always been a tussle. One person is usually not favored, and most of the time is the women. Every relationship a woman is into, she's into it.
Are you sure it's the women?
I said that most of the time.
That feels it. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is the women that want to buy new shoe? Is the women that want to buy new?
We have a ways.
Ribbons?
We have a ways. Women are naturally.
What ways?
Okay, we have a ways. We have our ways of making ourselves very comfortable without affecting the family.
Are you sure? Without affecting the family.
Most of the
time.
Some
women don't even consider that. They feel, myself first.
Yeah, it's
before
true.
The children.
It's
before
true.
the house.
It's true. But I know a larger percentage of women consider the home first before herself. Some women, okay, let me find a way of taking care of myself, but this one is for the family. And that's when you give a woman a 10,000 naira, you give her to manage it, she's going to manage it far better than the man will do. The man will spend most of the time for it. The woman might buy biscuits, she might buy sweets, she might buy drinks with it. If you check how the man will spend, most of the time it's going to be very personal. Whatever the woman buys, at the end of the day, it has a way of trickling down to everybody in the family. But a man, I beg. So that's why I said most of the time the woman feel the heat of joint account. Okay. It's the woman that really feels the heat of the joint account. So as an individual, you have to consider the kind of person you are dealing with. You must be able to extensively communicate about it before you dabble into it.
You just talked about communication, and that's one of my questions. I want to ask, most marriages lack communication, especially when it comes to finance. How important is financial communication?
Let me not go to financial communications, but let me start with communication. The bedrock of any relationship
is communication.
Is communication. Mother, daughter, teacher, student, father, mother, communication. If there is no communication, there is no relationship. The moment I find a friend in you, it's because you listen to me when I talk.
Okay.
You probably don't judge me. You probably tell me, okay, well, let's do it this way. But the moment I come to you, I want to purge. You're not ready to listen. I can't call you my friend. So every relationship, communication is important. And the moment communication dies, there is no relationship, the marriage dies. So before you talk about finance, what kind of communication do you have? If you cannot talk about every detail, then there is no point bringing, because my finance is huge. If you cannot talk about every little thing, then talking finance would not be very easy.
Okay.
But if you have to do a joint account, you have to be able to talk about every detail. You will not say this is too small. Every 50 naira you must be
It's
accountable.
important.
You must be able to
But
account
there are
for
some
it.
people that really have like a partial joint account. Like maybe we want to do a project now, we want to build a house. We know, okay, we are saving towards that.
Okay.
Though every other money that comes in, maybe we are peradventure I'm earning like 70, my partner is earning like maybe 72. Okay, let's be bringing 40 every month. Then the other 30, whatever you do with it, is your business.
Okay.
That's for some people. Then why some other people feel, okay, every income that comes in, everyday expenses, we must have a joint account with it. And some even religious bodies even tells us that, oh, for you to say you are husband and wife, for you to say you are couple, you have to have joint account. Every money matters. Like you have to come together and plan. That's how the family is supposed to be run.
Yeah, you just said it's supposed to be run that way. But in this selfish world we're in, everybody is particular about me, me, me.
But is that not why we're having a lot of breakups in marriages?
And it will keep going until we begin to deny our self-importance in every relationship. In every relationship we are in, you have to put the other person into consideration. If you are not, then there's going to be a big issue. When it comes to joint account, we are planning towards a project, and I'll be saving 40% of my money. We had both agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the agreement, I think if partners are deciding to have joint account, I think there should be records for what I'm bringing, for what you're bringing. I don't know if you understand what
I
I'm
understand
saying.
what you're saying.
Not just agreeing. It has to go the way of
It has to be
record.
detailed.
I'm telling you, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. It could be the man, it could be the woman, it could be whichever one. We have to be detailed about. So when the situation arises, I can say, as far as this project is concerned, this is my contribution, and so no one is taking it. It is mine, and it's going to be mine. As far as this project is concerned, it's essentially his, and that is his. But when we say, okay, and our situation, we don't just say is my husband, my wife, and that is it. We have our relations, our families, always in our relation, always in our marriages. So we cannot rule out the case of records if you choose to have a joint account.
Okay. In that aspect, okay, we cannot rule out the case of records. That's because of accountability. If peradventure in the future something happens, but presently we are all together. I want to send my mom 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira. Is it everything I'll tell you? Is it everything I have to be telling you? Oh, I want to send my mom 10,000. I want to send my younger brother 5,000. I want to buy my own this. I have to be telling you that in joint account. But when it's not joint account, I can use my money the way I want. So some people prefer, they feel, oh, I should have that privilege. I should have that privacy. It's my money, so I should be able to spend it the way I want.
Spend it, yes.
So if there's need for contribution, let's make the contribution. We all know about that, but not when I want to spend 1 naira. I have to be telling you.
If you agree to have a joint account, then you must agree to say every detail you want to use the money for. Because I cannot run a joint account with my husband and I will open my eyes and let him just go to the bank and withdraw and spend and give to his family and send and just spend. You should be able to tell, because I have a stake in that account, and I don't think he will sit back, relax, and allow me just go spend the way I want to spend, and he will not say a word about it. No, now he has a stake. You should be able to say, what are you doing? I must be explicit, because it's a joint account. But the moment you have yours, I have mine. I can spend the way I want, and that's when I'll tell you
But by then, some things will be lacking, like maybe the home upkeep and all that. The children some things will be lacking in the home by the time I spend the way I want, or you spend the way you want. Don't you think some things will be missing?
No, you still come together and agree. Yes, now this month we have a budget of 30,000 naira. Bring yours, I bring mine.
With women that are already used to partying, going out to
And they have a ways of
solving it.
managing that. They have the way. I have a friend. The husband buys as much as 250,000 naira dress for her anytime anytime they want to party. It's their life. That's the way they.
And because they have the money, but in this present economy that we're managing, how should we do it? Should we still go the old way? And some children will not pay their school fees. We'll go partying, we'll buy all the expensive things that we have that we need to buy.
This time is prioritizing. My priority might not be your priority. If my children's schooling is my priority, then I should be able to prioritize it. Okay, before I go to any party, before I buy anything, this time the children are returning to school. This is how much I'm going to save towards their going back to school. This is how much the man has to bring towards their going back to school.
But my children's school fees are not my priority. So what do you think can be our priority as a mother?
The welfare of the children. See, that's my priority. But what's your priority? Everyone has got
because people are looking at us from home. We need to tell them
everyone has got
our priority.
Our priority should be our children. If we don't take care of them, they're going to be nuisance tomorrow. So even if my neighbor does not, and I, as a community dweller, does not one way or the other talk to my neighbor. What are you doing about those children? They're not been in school for a while now. If I don't talk about it, someday I might get affected. Sometimes in life I might have to lock my door to sleep at night, and that child will, you know what I'm saying, because I have refused to talk about what I was meant to have addressed. But to every family, our priority should be taking care of our children.
So some of us don't have this saving culture. Before the month runs out, we're already in. That's for salary earners. Then for business people, sometimes you even dip your hands into the business money because you don't have saving culture. Do you think saving culture is very important?
Very, very, very important. Very important. I see it as key. As key. Every woman must learn to save. Even if you're hoping to earn 10,000 naira, and at the end of the day 7,000 naira came your way, still save. Still save. It's very, very important. Even when it's little, still save, because that savings that you're going to keep with some kind of pain will put a smile back on your face someday. When you least expect it, just that savings. That's why it's coming round to save you. If you don't save, then most of the time you find yourself in calamities. For one, I have a shop I rent. I do my handwork. Every time I work, I take out my savings. The year does not run out and I'll be looking for how do I pay my rent? I don't ever do it. I just walk into the bank, collect where I have saved, transfer into my landlord's account, because that's the only time I know I can have peace. I transfer the landlord, I paid it, my tax. At the beginning of the month, of the year, I've already done that. So I'm relaxed. And they come out searching and doing all of that. I'm relaxed because I know I have paid. If I have not saved, at that point in time, I have to go begging. And at this time, how many doors are you going to knock before you get somebody to borrow you anything? And you borrow, you will still not be at peace. So why don't you just save to reduce the rate at which you borrow? So I'm just going to encourage us, as no matter how hard, it might be very hard for us to keep it, but let's just do it.
Okay. So now let's go back to the saving culture. The joint account thing.
Okay.
What are the implications, or let me say the negative side of joint account? Though I know somehow we've talked about it, but let's hear some of the negative side of joint account.
Having joint accounts, number one, will limit you. Will limit us as individual to be able to spend the way we want to spend.
That's a disadvantage?
It could be, and it could also be an advantage, but it depends on how we see it.
Okay.
Then the other one is most of the time, if the two people involved in the joint account are not faithful to the agreement of the joint account, then one person will suffer. One person will suffer. And then another point is, if one person is made a signatory to the account,
Okay.
then if anything happens, maybe God forbid, the
Death.
person falls sick, not even death, and the person cannot even sign, then it's going to be very difficult for the other person to even take that same money to take care of the other person.
Okay.
So let alone death now comes. So those might be.
I think there is dependency. I tend to depend on you because there's joint account and inequality and share of disability too in
Yes.
joint account.
Yes,
Yeah.
all of that will come into it, because we're doing it. Your capacity is 1 million in a year. My capacity is 300, and we want to achieve a certain thing. You know, our contributions will not be the same. So at the end of the day, we are going to achieve that same thing. I might not have been able to achieve in 2 years. We might be able to achieve it in 6 months. So somehow have been able to depend on you. It does not matter who now. It could be the man, it could be the woman, depending on the other one. We can depend on ourselves. That's an advantage. You're able to
Let's
do.
hear the advantages.
You can able to do something you would not have been able to do on your own, with the help of the other person, the other person supporting you. And sometimes with joint account, you are not just going to spend anyhow. You come, you table it. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. The other person tells you, don't you think we should strike this for now? This is not should not be a priority now. Let's strike it. Maybe the next month or the following one will take care of it. Okay, you've been able to come to an agreement. Then with joint account, apart from the account, there are other things we'll find ourselves doing together as a family. We'll talk about things, because I said it earlier. Trust will come in. I said it earlier. Communication. Finance is very, very important. You must be able to talk about every little thing. So if you are able to talk about finances, there is every likelihood to talk about most things. You don't understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand.
Because if I'm going into a joint account with you, I must be ready to be open. So if I'm open with you with my finances, there is every likelihood I am open with you with every part of my.
Okay, it seems we are running out of time. But before we go, what is your take to people at home? Though I know it's your personal opinion, but what do you think? How do you think marriage should be run so that we'll stop having less problem in society?
My own take for marriage to be run is for us to act like spouses, act like we are actually two in this. In whatever marriage or relationship we find ourselves. But the time and age is teaching us so fast to be so selfish. It's my phone, and it has to be my phone. You can't run through it. If you run through it, you cry. I don't know where we're coming from. I don't know where we're going. It's my property, it's my house. If it's mine, then I don't think we are ready for marriage. If it's marriage, I think it should be togetherness. We should do it all together. But our time, our situation is teaching us otherwise. But I think if we can bring back ourselves to say we want to go on this journey together, then we must be together in every little thing. I say, like I said to you, if I can allow you into my privacy, then other things should not be a question. Should not be things to question. You know what I mean by
Thank you so much for coming. You've really spoken well, and thank you viewers at home for being there. You've heard it all from our guests in the studio today, Ijebu Ode. It's good to have you, and it's good to have you there too at home. And to come your way again on the same program next week. I think you've gained something today. Bye.